Every year, MoneySense studies cities across the country to find out the best places to live. And this year, Oakville tops the list, jumping from 14th last year. Claire Burnell is editor of reports and rankings with MoneySense. She joined me earlier on BT to explain the report.
Oakville just did really well across the board. So we rank 10 categories, things like the economy, affordability, weather, the crime rate. And Oakville scored in the top 25% of all cities in 6 out of those 10 categories. So it just was a great pick across the board. Really low unemployment, high incomes, low crime rate. Growing population, growing quite quickly, and it just managed to overtake last year's winner, Ottawa, by a hair this year.
And Ottawa was second this year. The top five are Oakville, Ottawa, Russell, Ontario, which is, where's Russell?
Russell is it's about an hour away from Ottawa. It's the Ottawa area, but it's a small town.
And then Saint-Bruno du Montarville, Quebec. I apologize for that. And Lacombe, Alberta is the other one. Were there any surprises in the ones that finished in the top 5, top 10, and were they fairly close together?
Yeah, well, one really interesting thing is how some Alberta cities like Lacombe finished. So I'm the new editor of reports and rankings, and I made a couple of tweaks to it this year. One tweak that I made is that previously population growth used to be you only got full points if you were close to the national average of population growth. So you lost points if you were growing too quickly. Yeah. So I looked at it and I decided I don't know if that necessarily makes sense because that's penalizing some cities like Milton, for example, which did really well.
Anywhere in the GTA.
Yeah,
right?
They're growing quickly because they're adding new housing, right? It's not because there's some sort of, fever of people coming to the city and causing all kinds of problems because they can't keep up with the growth. They're just building housing there in some of these bedroom communities. And in Alberta, of course, you've got a lot of cities that are growing quickly, and also as the economy turns around, the unemployment rate is dropping really fast, and that really shot up some of those cities.
Best places for family. 4 of the top 5. Oakville was the 5th, but 4 of the top 5 are in Quebec.
Yep, that's right. When you take a numbers-based approach at trying to decide the best place to live, which is what we do at MoneySense, it's hard to beat Quebec. So for the families ranking, we include some demographic stuff like the percentage of families with children, just the percentage of children living in the town, but also daycare costs and the availability of daycare. In Quebec, you're going to pay about the 10th of what you're going to pay for daycare full-time in Toronto. It's hard to beat that.
You can find the full rankings on moneysense.ca.